Papers. I call the member for Chifley.
Acting Deputy Speaker. The Australian public was promised by the now Prime Minister that there'd be no cuts to health, and a lot of people took him at his word. So it came as a great surprise to people in my neck of the woods, out in Mount Druitt, when we learned in the first budget statement of the Abbott government, which was my EFO, the Mid-Year Economic and Fiscal Outlook released in December, that $500 million of healthcare investments would be cut. And of that $500 million, I was particularly outraged that spending had been cut and investment had been cut to the installation of an MRI at Mount Druitt Hospital, $6 million committed to that. I had previously asked the Health Minister informally about the status of that, and I found out through my EFO that it was being cut, and I think this is a horrendously bad decision for people of our area. Now, I wrote to the Health Minister, and I understand you're not going to get the responses as quickly as you'd like, but it did take him 4 months to get back to us, and when I did get a response from him, the response itself, frankly, is of a quality below a Health Minister, engaging in petty politics and point scoring rather than actually explaining why the Prime Minister's vow of no cuts to health was not being honoured by the Abbott government and by this Health Minister. And what was also interesting when I finally got the response was that he didn't only just provide the response to me as an MP, but he also decided he'd hand it behind my back to my local paper, which was intriguing because they contacted us and said they'd got a copy of the letter. Well, if they didn't get it from us, where do they get it? The logical answer is that the Health Minister decided to play politics instead of actually delivering for the people of our area. And he made two critical errors. The first in his letter is that the decision he claimed to grant the MRI Medicare eligibility and provide an MRI machine to Mount Druitt Hospital was a Labor election commitment. Wrong. It was actually a decision of a cabinet made before the election, made before caretaker status and counted for in PFO. It was not an election commitment. And the second area he was wrong is he claimed the purchase of the equipment in the public hospital settings is usually the responsibility of the relevant state government. Wrong. As the state government has pointed out through one of its spokespeople, the spokesperson for the Ministry for Health said the responsibility for MRI licences was the federal government's, and they're absolutely correct. Instead of the Health Minister playing politics, why doesn't he do the right and decent and honourable thing of honouring an Australian government commitment, making sure that the people of Mount Druitt don't have to travel to Parramatta or Nepean to get healthcare, and ensuring that they get adequate healthcare, but more importantly, honouring the Prime Minister's commitment of no cuts to health?